Who is y'all to tell me what he diagnosed with and what he look like, what he sound like? Y'all don't know nothing about God, and y'all don't know nothing about nothing. You talking to me like that, so I rebuke everything y'all saying about my child. To be honest,
it's time to just say what it is, so that you can stop being embarrassed and harboring that guilt. I literally spoke what I saw because I was in shock.
Because Chrisean had decided to keep her son off social media, everyone could see that he hadn't changed much when she took him to a church event. Since she disregarded his demands and believed that his problems would be fixed later, many others were worried about his health, but she was totally wrong. What most people had been guessing about all along, that Junior would never be able to speak unless they provided him substantial support to address his developmental needs, was confirmed by a doctor who saw his live video stream on X. Blueface's mother made matters worse by holding Chrisean accountable for her son's actions, as if the delays weren't already terrible enough. After being away from Instagram for months, she returned to promote her birth live, which she had been doing since Chrisean first formally presented him to the world. Since the infant lacked hand-eye coordination and was unable to move his head, people weren't really paying attention to any of that. What truly made them smile, though, was when they heard him cry. Kron was wailing like a cat and was doing his best to act as though nothing was wrong. Her youngster began sobbing in the background as she defended the Blueface tattoo on her face. During a live webcast, fans realized something wasn't quite right when she posted another video of herself feeding him. He was around 8 months old, they added, and didn't really react to the food or the spoon until it was close enough to him. Why doesn't an 8-month-old want to grab food when he sees it? Why didn't he act like other infants do when food is around? She faced criticism for smoking and drinking, when she was, according to one person, Chrisean Rock is in denial when it comes to Junior, implying that carrying him was the cause of his illness. He's not accomplishing his goals. He should be strong enough to hold his head and chest while on his stomach. He also doesn't smile or coo. According to others, Chrisean Jr.'s ailment was chronic, a genetic condition unrelated to his drinking and smoking. Chrisean, on the other hand, yelled at individuals and refused to tolerate the comment, labeling it hate speech. Pointed out that rather than being a true celebration of a child's growth, the milestones being addressed were made up to cheer up a parent. What sense does that make? You all know how much labor it takes to conceive and nurture a child, so sure, you would be happy to see your child flourish in some areas. If a child isn't performing specific skills at the appropriate age, these benchmarks provide parents an idea of where their kids are and make it simple to spot and address developmental issues. Online comments from medical professionals asserted that Chrisean's child has all the features of fetal alcohol syndrome. He had a flat face, large, low-set ears, small eyes with folds in one corner, and a small cranium. His shrill yelling may have resulted from pornographic discourse, but it may also have been the result of a baby's alcohol withdrawal. Furthermore, his pupils seem white rather than red in photos, which could be a sign of a visual impairment. But Chrisean seems unconcerned and has requested that people not attempt to diagnose him. She claimed that when she took him to the doctor, she found no problems with him.
I diagnosed my baby on the internet. My baby is healthy. They would have told me he had syndrome. He's healthy, bro. Just because that picture wasn't that cute doesn't mean I could diagnose my baby on the internet. That shit is wild.
If Chrisean had ever taken her child to the doctor, and everything had gone well, she would have published the video to prove her critics wrong. In reality, she was documenting every second of her child's existence. Blueface, who is equally as indolent as Crotch, has chastised her for postponing their son's hernia surgery, arguing that she had other commitments as the situation worsened. She didn't take Junior to the hospital until after Blueface's tirade, and she wrote about how fast he was getting better. To refute the assertions that her baby was not getting better, Chrisean posted a video of him trying to walk. It merely verified what everyone else had been saying, even though we had never seen him walk, talk, hold a spoon, laugh, or do anything else that a normal 1-year-old child should be able to accomplish at this age. She was reprimanded for desiring a child in order to maintain her connection with Blueface, and her former best friend Jana fueled the flames by suggesting that Chrisean is denying that Junior needs help.
When people are in denial of stuff, it's like you can't help people when they're in denial of what's actually going on in reality.
Chrisean finally stopped mentioning him on social media and stayed away from him in public after all of the backlash. She took her son to church when she performed her new song for the first time in a long time. People aren't unhappy about his situation because he is almost 2 years old. Instead, they are upset because he is a victim of his environment, and all we saw his parents doing was a bunch of weird, toxic, and immature things that led to Cash's persistent denial, and her inability to take more action to assist her child, reflect the immaturity and unfavorable circumstances surrounding the birth of their son. It also doesn't help that Blue's mother, Clarissa, has repeatedly said that her child does, in fact, have a problem, even though Clarissa has never been fond of Chrisean and may have projected some of her anger and aggravation onto Jr. She noted that it's still difficult to see him in this position when there were so many other options.
Crushed my heart to look at my grandbaby and see that, and that was my first time seeing it.
Oh God.
And it did. It crushed my heart a little bit. It did. But I love all my kids no matter what I told you, whether they slow, need a helmet, whether they got nappy hair, whether they short, funny looking. I love all my grandkids, but I ain't gonna lie. My first initial thought when I saw him in that restaurant, it crushed me. And for her to say she wanted to stomp me out, girl, I can't even tell you what my mind wanted to do to you once I looked in his face and I didn't know if he was looking at me, you, or the air. I was hurt, genuinely hurt.
If she admitted that what everyone has been claiming is real, she would have to face the consequences of her actions and public scrutiny. This is what happened after they all saw her drinking and smoking as though she didn't care.
I said she drank, and because I hear the cry and I see what y'all see, I do feel like there could be some type of neurological problem. I do see that. I'm not blind and I'm not dumb. I'm not fixing to play blind or dumb.
And after seeing
what Crone Jr. had done, people had negative things to say about Chrisean Sr. It's time for her to quit playing the victim, Cash, since she made a really poor choice with this one. Even if the baby didn't request to be born among this pandemonium, she wrecked it. That's a sad baby to him. Why do Chrisean's son's potential special needs surprise people? Zeus took a video of her smoking while she was pregnant. Her negligence caused the infant to suffer because she was ill-prepared to bear a child. It's not her that I feel sorry for, but her son. She refuses to admit that she is in terrible anguish behind closed doors since she knows she is too. Blame for his situation. I think she understands that she is responsible for his failures. She will instead keep hoping that he gets better. If a child is still 20 months old and unable to walk, talk, or even babble, it is a significant warning sign. Perhaps Cash and Flag, a new mother going through a lot, have no one to help and support them. How do you feel about this matter? There will be more videos in the future, so please remember to like and subscribe in addition to leaving a comment with your thoughts. See you in the upcoming video.